Hey guys, I never really read manga. I don't have a grudge against the art form, it's just that my time is limited and I always thought it was best bet on better things and I didn't know where to start. It just seemed so dense. But recently, I read the first manga I ever read, Ghost in the Shell, and I really liked it, and I figured that while I was on a roll, I might as well do something that I've always wanted to do, and that is read the manga series Berserk. I've heard a lot of praise for Berserk over the years, how it's one of the best stories ever written, it's flawless, beautifully done, very mature and well thought out. And considering how high a pedestal many critics that I trust have put on it, didn't want to watch one of the sadly flawed anime adaptations. So I had to read it. All of it. And thus the epic read of all 3 bajillion chapters of Berserk begins. I got through the first chapter and was so blown away by how well it set up its story and how good it was and everything that I'm about to tell you that I just had to write this analysis and well, here we are. Stick with me because I'm with Berserk for the long haul, gonna analyze the series all the way through, no matter how long it takes me. Okay, so before we start, here's some things you know about me, the biases I have towards this series, so you can analyze my analysis and judge it for what it is purely. We're getting everything on the table. So, as I mentioned before, I know that Berserk is held in very high esteem and that I should expect a very high quality work. I also know that the story is 1, hella long, 2, still ongoing, and 3, going to be very painful to continue with once I eventually catch up, but that'll probably take me a while. I know the names of a few characters like Guts, Farnese, Griffith, Casca, Puck. That's about it. I know the first few chapters of the manga begin in the middle, but then it goes back to something called the Golden Age, and that's the beginning of the story. I know that it is violent, graphic, and, well, things are gonna happen that's gonna make me sad. Also, I know that there's gonna be a boat, and characters gonna be on it for forever. That's about it. Also, the 2016 adaptation is crap, but I didn't need anyone to tell me that. And finally, it should go without saying, but these videos contain complete and total spoilers for the section of the manga that I will be analyzing. I encourage my no doubt badass and intelligent readers to read the section before you listen to me yammer about it. Alright, let's get going. So as I mentioned before, Berserk opens in media res, which is a blowhard lit professor's way of saying the plot doesn't begin in the beginning, but more towards the middle bit. This technique is used to intrigue the audience into the nature of the story and to get us interested in what's going to come and what's happened before this, and by God, this is the first chapter of Berserk, do it well. Immediately, Berserk gives a strong impression of its main character, Guts. We see he's a massive badass, easily dispatching several trained thugs with ease, using a highly specialized battery of weapons that rivals Link himself. He's also capable of enduring hours of grueling torture. We find that he's on some sort of quest in search of something called the God Hand, and we can assume based on his morals, this quest is probably motivated by revenge. Speaking of morals, he seems to have none, showing little care for the well-being of the townsfolk and open sadism towards his opponents. Like seriously, burned that guy to death at the end. This guy's scary. I want to know about this guy. I want to learn how he obtained and was trained in all of his weapons. I want to learn how he lost his arm and got his brand. I want to know what the God Hand is and what they did to piss this guy off so bad. But more than all of that, I want to know who messed this guy up. Guts has been traumatized. Sure, this is evident in his cynicism and his apathy, but it's his damage which shows this the most. To say that Guts doesn't like to be touched is a gross understatement. The man displays an aversion of contact with any sort of being which borders on a phobia. This man has been abused, which is probably also tied into, him being able to shrug off those hours of grueling torture. He's been betrayed. He's lost faith in whatever cause he once believed him, and it's left him a shell of his former self. A very sad one. We can guess that those circumstances probably have to do with him losing his arm and getting his brand, and I'd wager that the God Hand has something to do with it as well. So, one chapter into a story that we don't really have much reason to care about, we can already make a bunch of evidence-based guesses into the nature of Guts' arc throughout the series. He probably started out as a common foot soldier, found someone to care about, something to put his faith in, fought, did really well, was eventually betrayed. Probably that's how he lost his arm and got his brand, and man, how many times have I said that throughout this recording? and he lost faith in whatever that thing was, and now he's searching for revenge. His arc will probably conclude with him letting people in, getting intimate with people again, and learning to regain his lost humanity. Now, the setup that Chapter 1 pulls off does not end there. It also clearly establishes a power hierarchy for the series. Humans are on the bottom with your knights and your mercenaries, etc. And then there's demonkind, and there's the apostles, which are like big demons, and above them stands the mysterious God Hand, which we have no idea what they are now. Now, this understanding of how power dynamic works in the series allows us to get really hyped for the battles that Guts is going to have with other apostles and the God Hand throughout the series. My hype is elevated on an even higher level by knowing that soon the story is going to travel to the beginning of the plot so we can see how all this occurred and evolved. Alright, new subject as we're wrapping up. I heard that the art in Berserk was good, but dang, it does not disappoint. Guts himself is ghoulishly badass. He's terrifying, but he's also surprisingly pretty, and all of that kind of gives him this sort of air of sadness around him. He's a tragic character. The action scenes were well done, but a tad hard to follow, though that may just be from my lack of experience of reading manga. I expect all that to improve, of course, as the series goes on. Finally, the 2 times that Guts swung his sword were beautiful and adrenaline pumping. I want more of it. Also, the fact that Guts never exhausts the ammo for his knives and his, crossbow arm thingy, as well as never has to swing his sword more than once to kill an opponent, really raised my hype for the battles later on. Finally, I must say that I agree with critics on the opening scene of this manga. It's weird, it's tactless, it doesn't really make sense in context, and then you get to the part in the bar and it's like, why was that in there? I don't know, who knows, Offer's a crazy person. Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore it. I suggest that you guys do as well. Finally, while the fact that the story takes place in a fantasy world is kind of evident just by, what happens, we're not really told what the world is called, or how its politics work, or how it's structured, but this is kind of excused by the in media res technique used. Given this, I hope y'all are as excited to read Berserk as I am, and are going to stick with me through all of this. Okay, that ends my analysis. All this part is unscripted. Hey guys. This is going to be a long project, and I really wanted to discuss this series with you. So please, if you're interested, leave comments. You were talking about what you thought, what I thought, if you thought I got anything wrong, ways that you think the story maybe could have done better. Just what you think about it. I care about you guys. I want to hear. Also, yeah, I really want to continue the discussion with you guys, and if you leave spoilers in the comment section, that is going to make me really motivated to ignore all comments, so please, come on, just don't do it. Seriously, thank you. Alright, I look forward to seeing y'all. Best comment gets you get this avocado seed. See, it's shiny and it's nice, and who doesn't want an avocado seed? Yeah. So, see you there. Toodles.